Yo, what up? Part 2 of Flipper Flipper here. But anyway, as I was saying well, first off, I had to take a little intermission because there was a young family coming down the road with some big ass dogs, and I could not have my attention nor my hand busy with this phone in case one of their big dogs had got out of hand, because I got a little dog here. I really love animals very much. Very, very much. But if a big dog were to hurt my little dog, I would kick some dog ass. Speaking of loving animals, little PSA. I have a lot of taxidermy, but it's all antique taxidermy. I have quite a bit of ivory, but it's mostly mammoth ivory. And the elephant ivory that I do have is certified pre-ban. It is legal. And that's not all I'm worried about, is it being legal. Because, I don't want elephants getting hurt either. But it was harvested years and years and years ago. And if it doesn't get used, they put it in the grinder and they grind it up. And that to me is way more of a damn shame than me putting it on a gun and enjoying the hell out of it and loving it and appreciating it. Grinding it up to dust is fucking sad. But anyway, as I was saying before I had to go, was about just about the two different style knives, the natural materials versus the I just call it tactical folders, because tactical folders to me means carbon fiber G10 or even just titanium. But what I'm liking, what I'm seeing now, like I always pay attention to the trends. A long time ago I was doing a video, we were talking about the trends, how it started. It was mother of pearl on sterling silver bolstered end bladed little fruit knives with 2-inch blades or so. That was a trend. Every knife was that. Then it was backlocks with wood or jigged bone. The jigged bone was mainly on the slip joints, but lockbacks came on the heels of that, so I've seen quite a few with jigged bone also. But they were trends. It was dyed bone, jigged bone. It's like they could have used stag, they could have used ivory, but that wasn't the trend. The trend was jigged bone. And then that changed to, let me think. Jigged bone, I guess, went to stag. Stag, then ivory, and now, then we hit the naturals. All of a sudden got taken over by the G10 and carbon fiber, and that's kind of where we're at now. We're sort of getting out of it. Now we're into the Timascus is not just a luxury material anymore. My God, it seems like it's on everything. I mean, it used to be reserved for knives that were like crazy ass special, which made sense, but hell, if somebody wants it on their knife that isn't so great, hell, at least it's special to them now with the I'll call it pattern welded titanium, because I can't say Timascus because there's some Mokutai and it's not all Timascus. Trying to get over this leash. But anyway, the trend now I'm kind of noticing, and it's not so much of a trend, it's just a style. Like, this isn't a material trend. It seems like, and it's just what I like. It seems like it's a lot of tactical knives that are getting premium materials now. Like, instead of just a titanium frame lock, which I love, like I said, I do have a problem with titanium frame locks from noob makers going for thousands. But as far as a good titanium frame lock from a maker that's experienced and the knife is flawless and killer, I love them. Love them, love them. There's no bling, no flash, no nothing. Just all business. I love them. But as far as these freaking birds actually sidetracking my pea brain. But as far as the trend and what I'm seeing with the tactical knives, it kind of looks like they're just getting more premium materials. Instead of titanium, it's looking like they're staying the tactical design, the tactical shape, the 4-inch blades, the 3.5-inch blades, but now they're liner locks getting overlaid with some decent materials. And I'll tell you, I like that a lot better because at least there's a million options. It's like even throwing pattern welded titanium into the frame lock world and mixing it up a little bit, it was still either one or the other. It was the pattern titanium or regular titanium. And man, that shit got old to me real fast. I'm usually a guy that goes for the primo materials, but with the pattern titanium, I never got into it. And you know why? Because it's mostly like this rainbow-ass color. I was never into it. Like, I don't want rainbows on my knife, and I really don't want random squiggles on my knife either. It almost looks like if somebody told you, okay, this is regular titanium, right, with the squiggles. But see the flaws in it? See the squiggles? Now look at this titanium. This is pure. All the squiggles are removed. It's gleaming, shiny, satin titanium with no flaws. See, we would all be thinking, oh wow, look at that. It's much better. It has no flaws. All those ugly squiggles are out of it. But since we know the pattern welded lines, the squiggles are signs of it being handmade and unique and valuable, we like it more. And I know you can make Timascus and Mokuti with no color and you can etch it, but the way I just feel about it personally, which this is just my opinion, if I'm gonna get Timascus or Mokuti scales, then I want a Damascus blade. In other words, if my handle's pattern welded, then I want my blade pattern welded. That's the anal in me. Yeah, it can look a little busy that way. Like a nice hand rubbed blade on a Mokuti frame does look nice, but if I'm getting one done, I need them both done. My favorite, besides natural materials, ivory, my favorite, like tactical folder look is hand rubbed blade with either a tumbled, blasted, with a dark titanium handle. I don't care how it gets dark. As long as you got the dark, flat handle with a hand rubbed blade. I love it. But anyway, before I got sidetracked with that, what I was saying is, even that was boring. It got boring to me anyway. It was either regular titanium or the pattern welded titanium, and I've seen Damascus a million times before, so the pattern welded titanium kind of just, I've seen that squiggly pattern before. It wasn't mind-blowing to me, and the rainbow colors, fucking sure as hell wasn't into that. But again, I know you can etch it and get the color out, but it doesn't show up as much, and it's kind of like, why are you paying all that money if the pattern's not showing up as much? I was torn. I had a couple knives made by some big name makers, and I was so torn on. I was thinking, the smart thing you gotta get the best of the best with these big name makers. You gotta make it worth a lot of money. But that wasn't what I wanted. I didn't want the pattern welded tie. Yeah, that would have made it worth more money. But shit, it would have cost a lot more money too, and it just wasn't what I wanted. And that shit fades and shows like damage easy. It shows a lot of wear. And I'm not I'm not into that either. I feel like I can't even carry it. Let me get this out of my pocket. When I got this knife made, again, I had a choice of whatever the hell I wanted. This is what I picked. When I had this knife made, that's what I picked. All titanium. I didn't want nothing else. Just all matching. That's why everything matches. That's why the clip, frames, backspacer, the style of the backspacer, screwless 3D clip. It was all just exactly what I wanted. I didn't want to go flashy. I was back and forth. I almost did. I didn't want to keep the frames just contoured because that was too plain. And I gotta say, of all the people that do, they'll call it a rock pattern, Jeremy's is my favorite because it looks more chipped. It doesn't just look like bump. It doesn't look like your average rock pattern. That's why he calls it chipped flint, because it does come out a little different. I don't even call it rock. It's chipped flint. That's what Jeremy calls it. He's the one that did it, and it is deeper. It just looks better. I don't know. It just looks different to me than the regular pattern that's similar to that. It's different. Step above. But that's the route I took. I don't know if anyone is in a position like that. I gotta spin us around here. Like, I was torn there, trying to decide, damn, you know, I got a high cal maker ready to make a knife. Am I gonna blow it by just getting regular shit? Some people would say yeah, but you gotta go for what you want. And I couldn't be happier. I carry it every day. It's not blingy, it's not flashy. You start thinking, why? In other words, when a knife has a pivot collar, I didn't ask for a pivot collar. You think, why? Why does this have a pivot collar? What does this pivot collar do? Doesn't do anything. It's purely for looks. What is this? You know, why zirconium? Even though I like zirconium, but I was going through this in my own mind. I was thinking, why zirconium? Well, because it's black and it looks cool. Yeah, but it's heavier. Titanium's lighter and has a better spring. It's like, that's why titanium. When someone asks you why, that's why. It's lighter. It doesn't rust. Better spring. It can be anodized. And when you have the power supply, like I do have, if my knife ever fades, boom, renewed. But I'm getting a little off topic. Again, it's a general knife discussion. I said the other day on why I do these videos is because I don't live around a lot of knife guys, and I got a lot of knife thoughts, and I want to speak them and hear other. I want to bounce them off other people. I want to hear what you think. But bottom line, many different styles, many different shapes, sizes, fixed, one piece, Damascus, stainless, carbon, naturals, synthetics. There's a million and trillion different combinations and options. And that's what makes knife collecting so fun and so long lasting, because there is all these options. And although I don't like this certain stuff today, I might love it next year. But I will say, from start to finish, I never changed on what I liked. There was always either the natural materials with titanium liner locks or tactical titanium frame locks. Regular titanium. I never really switched, but I was into Mokum in the beginning. Stopped liking that because I hate brass now. But anyway, I'm rambling now. But again, that's why knife making is so, you know, it's so long lasting. There's so many options. So many options. Alright guys, peace. Let me know what you think. Please comment. I want to hear your thoughts later.